Hello, it's Elaine from Penguin Place Crafts. I've got a few finished things to show you. A lot of my time over the weekend was spent just going through the yarn that I received on Saturday afternoon. There was one bag that was just a plastic bag with a lot of little yarn, and it was all tangled together. Took a couple hours to get it untangled and rolled up into balls, and then I put it into cakes just because I prefer working from cakes. If I'm working from a ball of yarn, it has a tendency to roll off my lap when I'm working. Then I can't see how much I have left and all that, so I like cakes. So got that all done. That is the finished tray of cakes. So this, I think in February is the month coming up, it's going to be at a bit of a scrappy month where I'm trying to use up that scrap yarn and scrap yarn that I have in my drawer and just get a handle on the scrap yarn. So that means lots of little things. It's a good thing I've got some fun little patterns lately, huh? Let's see. The first thing that I haven't shown you yet, after I got the yarn all sorted out, it seemed like there is a lot of red and white, which makes sense. Our local school, the school district that we're in, their colors are red and white. So maybe that's why. Maybe this person who gave the yarn just likes red and white. But I made a hug monster. This is actually called the Mini Monster from Yarn Society. But I like to call it the Hug Monster because it's got extra long arms for giving a hug. So I made this one. The legs in red and the body in white. And I was running out of the red yarn. I actually did run out of the red yarn and had to tie on a different color. A very slightly different shade of red, but I can't tell where it is right now. It's on one of the arms. I did 3 rows of white, 1 row of red. And there's the hug monster. Oh dear. So I even got that listing updated on Etsy. Then, since I have been having so much fun with that mini elephant pattern, it's a no-sew mini elephant pattern that I found on Instagram. Once I get on a computer, I'll link it in the comments. Might be a little while. Oh dear, Murphy's Law. As soon as I start talking, I'm going to start coughing. But I have this cone of orange yarn that I got at Savers. It's a very thin yarn. I have to double it up or use it with another yarn. It's going to take me forever to use that up. So I made another cake of it. I have a cake that's probably about 5 ounces of it. Probably can make 2 more cakes that size by the time I finish off that cone. But I used 2 strands of the orange and 1 strand of baby weight white and made another elephant from the no-sew elephant pattern. Then what I do next, I had some yellow up on my chair. Now, I made a butter lamb. These I freehand. I don't have a pattern for them. They're like my bestseller that gets me through springtime, keeps my Etsy shop going. Usually, I make them in this color. But this guy must be the more expensive butter for the butter lamb. So I just figured I'd make one in this color, see if it sells. I need to get a picture of all the butter lambs together and update that listing. While I had that yellow out there, another free pattern from Instagram is the Love Bug. It's a no-sew pattern by Celestial BC Crochet. I will link that in the comments. But you make the wings first that look like a heart, and then you start the head, antenna are worked right in there, and then you crochet the wings on between the antenna, and then just keep on going with the body. And while you're at it, you're adding 6 little feet with bubbles down the bottom. So that's my first love bug. I'm sure there'll be many more. When I was looking for that pattern, or the same video that introduced that pattern, I think, said that this designer has a pattern called Flower Buddies on Instagram. So there's the flowers. There's the buddy part. Doop, doop, doop. So I don't know how many I'll get made with red and white, but I'm going to play with my scrap yarn, make stuff like that. Was that it? That's all I've got out here. I guess that's all I got done. I'm trying not to beat myself up over one item I missed on my January. And I suppose if I really push myself, I could still do it, but it would not be a thorough job. I had wanted to get one paid pattern published during January. I have 3 patterns that just need like a little bit of, I need to make another one and fine tune the pattern just a little bit, stuff like that. So I've got 3 patterns that are pretty much ready to go. But I have to find the testers and get the feedback from the testers and see if there's any mistakes to be corrected. So I just haven't been all that keen on computer time lately. I'd rather be crocheting. So hopefully in February I can get one of the patterns. What are the 3? My no-sew gecko, the dragon, although the dragon, I have 2 different wings for the dragon, and I was thinking, which one do I go with? Or do I give the option of 2 different wings? Or do I make another wing and give the option of 3 different wings and maybe a couple of different horns? So it'd be more like Imkins, where you mix up the body. You have the same body, but you mix up the wings, the horns, the legs. I could do 2 different versions of legs and 3 different versions of legs. And you pretty much make up your own little dragon with those 3 options. Yeah, it's more work. It's more time on the computer. Let's see if that gets done. So it seemed like there was one other, but I don't have my to-do list out here to see what the other one. Oh, the micro octo. It's just a tiny little octopus that I make that I sell for $4 at my craft shows. But that one's not going to be a paid pattern. That one's going to go on my blog as a free pattern. So yes, I did do well with my crochet projects for January. I did my Ami book challenge and made something from a book. I did my, what was it? I call it the Artist Choice, where my husband made up the bags, different colors yarn. Finished that off. I finished off my Monster of the Month, my Mystery Yarn Challenge. Got that. Just didn't publish the pattern. So I'm just sitting there yesterday like, I didn't get this done. No, I need to look back at all the stuff I did get accomplished and say, hey, yeah, the patterns will eventually get published. Yeah, it's been more fun to sit in the chair and crochet. But I don't do well working on the laptop in my recliner. I do better when I'm sitting at a table or a desk with the laptops, because I don't like using the mouse pad. I don't like using a wireless mouse. I've got to have a corded mouse. So I need to have the nice flat surface of the table to be moving the mouse around. And it's holder over by the table where I set up my laptop. The chair's not as comfortable. It's more fun to play with yarn. Always comes back to that, doesn't it? So I am going to dig out my notebook with Speedy Gonzales on the cover that has all of my quick and easy and fun patterns and see how quickly I can knock down that tray of yarn. I like a challenge. So that's my challenge now. Let's see how many amigurumis I can get out of that tray. Yeah. Time to go play with yarn. Bye-bye.